Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thanks to all the witnesses for being here today. In preparation for this hearing, I looked at the title. It said the World Wide Web, Examining Online Harms. And of course, I'm totally supportive of the fact that we are prioritizing kids, but I decided I would go back and take a quick look at just how much online time people were spending. So I'm sure that all of you are aware of the fact that Americans now spend 7 hours and 3 minutes a day, each one of us apparently online. Excuse me, we also, I looked at the ages. I see here from 0 to 8, 2.5 hours, from 8 to 10 years old, 6 hours, 11 to 14, 9 hours, 15 to 18, 7.5 hours a day. So when we talk about what we're going to do about this problem, boy, is it a big problem. It's a huge, almost insurmountable problem. And as I watch my kids and others, I note the diminishment of critical thinking, the diminishment of skills, the diminishment of self-sufficiency. There's no lack of problems created online. But I'm happy today that we're talking about children. I think that's obviously what we need to be doing. Ms. Morale, your attorneys must have looked at this bill. Is it going to pass free speech scrutiny?
Could you specify which bill?
When I say this bill, I mean the Protect Our Kids bill.
The Protect Our Kids bill?
Yeah, the one we've been talking about the entire time today.
Oh, take it down or?
Take it down.
Oh, take it down.
Yeah, take it down. Forgive me.
To pass free speech concerns, I believe it would. This is just trying to say that platforms, because in Section 230, there's a Good Samaritan provision that incentivizes platforms and said you will be protected from liability for removing content that is obscene, lewd, lascivious, otherwise objectionable. But there has been no accompanying stick to that carrot. And what Take It Down would say is that platforms cannot host content if they are contacted knowingly that is non-consensual imagery, and they need to remove that. And so I think that is well within the authority of the government to do that.
So in anticipation of this hearing, I went and of course researched the Take It Down bill and looked at some of the critical comments on it. It appears that there are questions that have been raised by various commentators about it, and I think we heard Congressman Obernolte reference the fact that it's not a perfect bill. We want this bill to survive. So I hope you've reached out and whatever suggestions you have or anybody on the panel that we should change this bill, please tell us. Because in looking at the history of everyone trying to get this done, obviously First Amendment issues are going to come up. Why I'm asking you questions, your testimony touches on the limits of some content filtering tools available. I take it these things are not effective. Tell me why.
Yes, so content filters have not been effective in the smartphone app-based ecosystem because often filters do not have access to the material inside of apps. And so pornography today is not restricted to pornography websites, it's on social media itself. And as I mentioned in my opening, often social media is the first entry point for kids, and they're not meaning to access it, but they stumble upon a link and they click on it, and because there's no age gating on these porn sites, they're immediately able to get through to Pornhub. And so the filters are not working. It's very difficult. They often don't filter the in-app browsers, that each individual application actually has its own portal to the internet. And so it's been an incredibly difficult problem for parents on their own. And so that's why I've been supportive of solutions like age verification that would actually require the porn sites to verify this person is an adult before letting a child through, because filters are just not working for parents. And the technology has changed over the last 20 years that has made it extremely difficult for filters to work.
I want to move back to a much more difficult issue, that's Section 230. So I was on Judiciary until I had the good fortune of being selected for this particular committee. And I must say, in the days and weeks I spent studying Section 230, it appeared to me hugely challenging to change it. Do you have some suggestions on how we might actually do that?
A couple quick suggestions. I would say one critical thing would just be to clarify that Section 230 does not apply to product design, to the company's own wrongdoing or their own algorithms as their product. I think that has been an issue that we've seen of lawsuits getting thrown out in court claiming Section 230 immunity when it was not the speech the platform was hosting of third parties, but it was actually the product design of those platforms, algorithms connecting sex traffickers to their victims or promoting blackout challenges into the feed of a 10-year-old girl who then took her life by accident. And so I think it's really important to clarify Section 230 was not meant to cover product design. I would also say a bad Samaritan carve-out to say that if you are knowingly hosting criminal content or criminal behavior on your website, you do not get to hide behind Section 230's immunity. To accompany the Good Samaritan provision, we need a kind of commensurate bad Samaritan carve-out for knowingly hosting criminal material.
Thank you. Yield back.